partner, the Spitfire, Robin Renegade!
Well, fans, welcome back to the Nightmare Factory for another exciting student showcase. I'm Brandon Benefield alongside the great GB Gerard Bonner. This is Nightmare Factory Showcase 16.
And their opponents.
We're kicking things off here, of course, with tag team action, and I'm really excited about what we're going to see here. Currently in the ring, you've got Angelica Risk and Robin Renegade, two veterans here of the Nightmare Factory, and two great examples of where you can go.
And their opponents, from Atlanta, Georgia, Cinderella! And her tag team partner, from Fairfax, New Jersey,
Well, you heard that primal scream as she made her way out, that being Hyena Hera, who we've seen many times here in the Nightmare Factory from a previous camp.
That's
and, of course, newcomer Zephyrelia here making her debut at the Nightmare Factory.
You know, that's one of the cool things that happens here at the Nightmare Factory. You're going to see in this student showcase a mixture of graduates already from this amazing school and newcomers, some of whom will be having their first match here tonight, such as the case for Zephyrelia, who is teaming up, of course, with the experienced Hyena Hera.
This one's going to be a rowdy tag team match to kick things off. Of course, the official Lou Santiago in the ring.
You know, it's so interesting. There is interesting history already connected with some of the participants here. Angelica Risk, and we were here for this when Angelica Risk and Hyena Hera, who are on opposite sides, were battling for the inaugural Nightmare Factory Women's Championship. And now they're back in a tag team scenario, and there's quite the story connected to Zephyrelia, and I can't wait for us to talk about that as she's going to kick things off against the wildly experienced Angelica Risk.
Angelica Risk already talking trash here in the ring as Lou Santiago calls for the bell, and our first matchup is officially underway here at Nightmare Factory Camp 16 Showcase.
And I'm really excited about what we're seeing here. Of course, Angelica Risk in the corner there with Robin Renegade. And you see Zephyrelia is motioning here to Angelica Risk. Zephyrelia, this is her very first match in the pro wrestling business, and she's got a unique situation happening. She refers to herself as the Deaf Galaxy Pro Wrestler. And I don't mean deaf as in Def Jam, I mean Deaf Galaxy Pro Wrestler as, you know, she's hearing impaired, which adds a very different element when you jump into the pro wrestling business.
Absolutely, she did a lot of work with Coach Glacier over this 12-week camp. And man, there's a nice hip toss there from Zephyrelia.
And this is one of the cool things about what the pro wrestling business offers you. It offers opportunities to every person with anything going on in their lives who has the opportunity to prove that they can do and live out their dream however they desire. And there's a tag in to Hyena Hera, and there's a lot of familiarity between Hera and Risk.
Oh man, some tag team work, some great tag team cohesiveness there. And now Hyena Hera with a pin attempt. No, but just a quick one count as Risk able to get that shoulder off the mat.
And this is such, again, an interesting space. You look at Hyena Hera, you look at Angelica Risk. They both have had the opportunity to travel the wrestling world, and that's one of the great things that the Nightmare Factory affords you is connection to great spaces. We've seen both of these young ladies in spaces like AEW and Ring of Honor, and of course they're able to always come back here to the Nightmare Factory.
Of course, talking to Coach Glacier before the show, spent a lot of time with Zephyrelia, who you see out there on the ring apron, trying to get a tag in to Hyena Hera. But talking about the heart she has, she's unique, unstoppable, full of heart. She rises to the challenge, and despite, you know, anything else that she's got going on, you talk about the hearing impairment. I mean, she's not going to let that hold her back. And she's in here with this debut matchup. She really needs to get in the match right now because her partner, Hyena Hera, is in a world of trouble.
Well, for sure, and if you think about rivalries, you think about in the wrestling business, long-standing rivalries, you know, Flair, Steamboat, Rock Austin, you know, Cena, Orton, and these two young ladies, Angelica Risk and Hyena Hera, have actually been battling since they were in Camp 2 together, and here it is, Camp 16, and they're still on opposite sides of the ring.
And now Robin Renegade, the Spitfire, picking up where Risk left off with a big chop, and now Hyena Hera going to turn it around on her and deliver a chop of her own, and there's a shot for Risk on the outside.
And we've seen Robin Renegade all over the wrestling world, literally Ring of Honor, AEW, the NWA, she's been everywhere. Proof again that being here in the Nightmare Factory can really lead you to all sorts of spaces here in the sport of pro wrestling.
Hera in trouble now in enemy territory as Risk tags back in. You see Robert Renegade just holding Hera up and a shot right to the ribs from Risk.
And this is interesting because, again, you think about in any normal tag team match, you want tag team continuity with tag team partners. And, of course, the connection between Risk and Renegade. They've traveled the world together. But this is the first time for Hyena Hera and Zephyrilia. And whoa.
2 count there. Hyena Hera able to get that right shoulder up.
First time for them teaming up. And this is definitely an unusual position, I would imagine. If you are Zephyrilia, you usually would want the veteran to come and save you as opposed to you being in the position to save the veteran. Great suplex reversal there from Hyena Hera.
Now Hera desperately needs to make that tag to the newcomer, Zephyrilia, on the outside.
And you gotta wonder if Zephyrilia can feel just kind of the angst that, of course, Hera is in at this particular point.
Hera using that leg strength, kicking Risk off, and finally makes a tag. In comes Zephyrilia.
And Zephyrilia is in with a big clothesline there.
The strength of Zephyrilia with those lariats taking down Risk, and another big hip toss, and Helica Risk hit hard.
They often say when one of your senses goes, another sense is heightened, and it seems like there are definitely some senses heightened there for Zephyrilia.
Now a stiff kick right to the midsection there from Robin Renegade, but a reversal into the ropes from Zephyrilia, another hip toss.
And I'll tell you what, that hip toss has a lot of power behind it as Zephyrilia is making sure she utilizes that well. And now she's got both of them together and bangs their heads.
A meeting of the minds there with Risk and Robin Renegade, and now Zephyrilia shot to the midsection. What she got in mind here?
Look at this, Zephyrilia's got a plan, a big DDT.
And Angelica Risk got stuck right in the middle of the ring.
And now brings her to the middle.
Lateral press here.
And she got her.
What a debut.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Here are your winners, the team of Zephyrilia and Hyena Hera.
Big win there for Hyena Hera and Zephyrilia in her very first match. And you know what? You may have multiple matches throughout your life, but you never get a second chance to make a first impression. What an incredible moment here for Zephyrilia.
Man, what a great performance in her debut matchup here at Student Showcase number 16. Zephyrilia and Hyena Hera victorious to kick things off here tonight.
An exciting time here at the Nightmare Factory, and of course, we have more of Student Showcase 16 coming your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall.
Well, there's some music we are very familiar with here at the Nightmare Factory.
Introducing first, weighing in at 315 pounds.
Oh, come on.
From Asheville, North Carolina, the Warden.
That just ain't right.
Well, he also is a graduate of camp number 2. He also is an inaugural champion. The inaugural Nightmare Factory champion, but doesn't look like much has changed from a hygiene perspective.
And his opponent, weighing in at 195 pounds, from Fort Worth, Texas, he is the Scorpio Emperor, CFC!
The Scorpio Emperor CFC, excited to be making his debut here tonight. But let's be honest, GB, I do not envy this kid getting in here with the Warden.
He's literally giving up 100 pounds or so to the Warden. And, can you imagine picking the straw for your very first match that says you're going to go up against the inaugural Nightmare Factory champion who has got 100 pounds on you and probably not the nicest or most hygienic. Wasn't he going up his nose?
Yeah, I was going to just try to move past
he did it right in the camera.
Diana almost got a piece of that, actually.
Yeah.
Nice collar and elbow tie up there. The Warden showing off the strength and sending CFC right back down to the mat.
The Warden story is one that has been well documented, but it bears repeating. You look at the Warden, you may not understand why he is the way he is, but here's a guy who was so determined to make it to wrestling school that he literally lived in his car. to go through his time here at the Nightmare Factory, and he has certainly turned that into great success. Meanwhile, we look at CFC. It is indeed his debut match, and this is a special time for him. He said he chose not to go to college, instead went from high school straight here to the Nightmare Factory.
And that's exactly what he's got to do right here is that quickness. You see him, well, I spoke too soon. He's been able to escape most of the blows there from the Warden. And there's a shotgun drop kick to the Warden right in the midsection, sends Warden back into the corner. And now CFC with those rapid-fire right hands going to town on the Warden.
And I understand why CFC's going that route. I mean, you definitely don't want to try to go the power game against somebody like the Warden. But, yeah, he got caught.
Uh-oh.
He probably should have stuck and moved, but look at that.
Wait a second. A counter here, looking for a pin attempt. No, but the Warden just too big, too strong. But he punched the canvas. CFC able to get out of the way just in time. A kick to the midsection. Maybe looking for a DDT, but the Warden driving CFC back into the corner.
CFC, a native of Fort Worth, Texas, and we know that Texas has a lot of great wrestling history connected to it. There's another Rhodes brother down in Texas as well, and of course the Rhodes family has a strong connection to the beautiful state of Texas.
Big double axe handle right across the spine from the Warden to the Scorpio Emperor. CFC now trying to make his way back into the corner. Warden going to help him up.
CFC is really trying to rethink things, and again, what pressure this must be for your debut match, obviously in front of friends and family, but all around the world who are paying attention to this telecast now. You know that there are fans looking to see who's coming up next out of the Nightmare Factory. There are potential promoters that are watching this to see who they might want to have on their shows in the future. A lot of pressure for your very debut match.
And look at the torque on the neck from the Warden there to CFC. CFC in a big amount of trouble right here. I'm not sure what's he got to do to get out of this here, GB.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's in a tough spot right now, but he credits the sport of pro wrestling for getting him through hard times, and he's going to need to pull on that to get through this moment right now with the Warden.
Oh, handful of hair sends CFC right back down to the canvas one more time, and the Warden, now he just looks angry.
Yeah, and you're not going to like him when he's angry. We've seen that several times.
You see CFC now scratching and clawing, just trying to make his way to the corner one more time. Oh, wow,
right?
Man, and all the way to the Warden right across the lower back.
And here's the challenge when you get into these matches. You know, just like anything, when you go to school, you learn the theory, but it's the application that sometimes makes the theory go out of the window.
CFC back up in the corner, but now he's being dragged across that top rope face first, courtesy of the Warden.
And I wonder if the Warden right now might be taking CFC kind of lightly at this point. CFC, obviously his first match. The Warden has been doing this for a few years now. He has a lot more experience under his belt. And yeah, he telegraphed that one, kind of literally proving my point.
Just what he said, he has that experience. He made a rookie mistake there, taking his eye off the ball, and now CFC ducks a clothesline.
Oh, wow.
But he did not duck that one as the Warden connected. Pin attempt here, hook of the outside leg.
And that could, whoa.
CFC digging down deep. The Scorpio Emperor getting that shoulder up off the mat.
CFC who finds his inspiration from Oh, wow, from wrestlers. Oh, wait, he said he thinks he's hungry.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on. No way. Oh, God, I can't.
Oh, don't do this.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, he's biting his finger. CFC biting the finger of the Warden.
I wouldn't want to come anywhere near that finger with any body part of mine. Sheesh.
Oh, and all the way to the Warden, stepping across the stomach of CFC. Now the Warden going up in unfamiliar territory here. We don't normally see him go up to the ropes.
He's a long way away.
Going for a Vader bomb, but nobody home. As CFC able to roll out of the way just in time.
Yeah, CFC. Oh, there we go, a front face DDT.
And there you go with that flatliner-like maneuver there from CFC. Can he capitalize here? So much taken out of both men at this point.
CFC, whose love affair with pro wrestling began at age 8 in his grandmother's house, looks to continue that love affair in the whole design of trying to win his debut match here, but he still has an uphill battle to climb.
Both men back up. CFC charges in, goes for a clothesline, now into the ropes, going to try one more time. Cannot get the big man off of his feet.
And here's the thing, he keeps going for it.
This time he ducked a clothesline in, a flying clothesline off the ropes. This time he takes the Warden off his feet.
Sometimes you got to get some momentum behind it, and that's what he did. He's got the Warden wobbly at this point.
Uh-oh, now CFC. Wow!
Are you serious?
Are you kidding me? Look at that Uranagi, hook of the outside leg.
How did he get the Warden up for that?
What a show of strength. from CFC. Unbelievable.
That was incredible there. I did not know he had that level of strength in him to get a man with a 100-pound size advantage up in for that.
Uh-oh. The crowd's calling for a DDT there.
Oh, but Warden says not so.
The Warden counters, and now back up on the shoulders goes CFC.
What does Warden have in mind?
Uh-oh. Oh, no! CFC gets planted.
And that could do it.
Wait a second. Are you kidding me?
I am impressed with the heart that is on display from CFC.
With that deep stack pin, I thought for sure that was it, but somehow, some way, CFC still able to kick out.
CFC, his love for pro wrestling, he says that he loved the entrances. They were electric, and he felt like wrestling was larger than life. He's going to need to be larger than life if he's going to get through this moment.
The pump handle slam.
He's got him set up, and there's that DDT that the fans were calling for.
The DDT from CFC. Will it be enough?
That's a 1, 2, 3.
That's got to be an upset, GB. What a match. Wow, man.
Here is your winner, CFC!
A massive victory here in his debut match at Student Showcase 16, defeating a veteran here of the Nightmare Factory. The Warden, huge victory there for CFC.
Fans, don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more to go here at the Nightmare Factory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall.
Oh, brother.
Into the center, weighing in at 220 pounds, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, he is the brightest star in professional wrestling,
Michael Solar, no stranger to the Nightmare Factory here, from a former camp, also been all over the independent scene here in Georgia.
Solar dates back to Camp 9, so to your point, the industry veterans are coming back, and it kind of reminds me of, when you come back to your high school to prove your worth.
Weighing in at 170 pounds, from Los Angeles, California,
Well, he's from LA, but he's no Fresh Prince. Aaron Belair is in the building for his debut match here at the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one, GB. Of course, we talked to Aaron before the show, former football player back in school, now turned pro wrestler, making his debut here at Camp 16 Student Showcase. And there you see Solar doing what he does best, mocking the crowd, trying to mock his opponent here.
Solar lives for those kinds of moments. Meanwhile, lots of fans of Aaron Belair already in the audience, and that's a great way to start your wrestling career.
An elbow tie up into the side headlock. Solar wrenching down on the neck and the head there of Belair. Belair sends Solar in. Shoulder tackle from Solar takes Belair down to the mat.
Wow.
And you're right, GB. Look at the fan club, the Belair fan club there, as Belair trips up Solar.
And Belair, again, his debut match here, and his story is so very neat shoulder tackle there.
Returning the favor is Aaron Belair.
Aaron Belair, who was a former football player.
Ooh, pin attempt here, hang on!
It could be over. Whoa, it was almost over just that fast. Wow. Aaron Belair was a football player in his junior year of high school. He saw that things weren't looking the way he wanted in his senior year, and so, oh wow, almost an angle slam there.
Solar showing off that Solar power.
And so since he saw that football wasn't working, he said, let me give pro wrestling a try. And that's how his interest in this sport showed up.
Crawling to the ropes, trying to get his way back up to his feet. You see him holding his ribs here. He hit hard there on the canvas, knocking the wind out of him.
You know, I had a chance to talk to Belair before the show, and his story is so powerful in terms of how pro wrestling has impacted him. While he grew up watching pro wrestling, he literally told me the story of how just a couple of years ago, he was in a hotel room on like April the 5th and was ready to end his life. And in the process of that, he got a phone call from a friend of him that offered him a ticket to a meet and greet. at that meet and greet, he met Bailey, he met Sasha, and they inspired him to go into the world of pro wrestling. So literally, pro wrestling has saved his life, and he's paying the favor back right here at the Nightmare Factory.
And right now he's in trouble with Solar with that big suplex to Belair. Belair again holding that lower spine. A pin attempt here from Solar, but just a 2 count.
It's amazing to see just the impact of pro wrestling, how it impacts so many people over time, and how they make decisions to be a part of the sport. And you can see right now Aaron Belair is trying to figure out how does he get through this weapon and this obstacle that is Michael Solar. And you saw him fighting back, but Solar wasn't having it.
Yeah, Michael Solar laying in the boots. And you mentioned it earlier, GB. It's kind of like in high school. You have like the senior class and the freshman class. So you have a former camper like Solar who's been around for a couple of years, and he sees this new fresh meat coming in here, and he's not going to let this new guy show him up.
He certainly isn't, and that is the pressure. And meanwhile, Aaron Belair, who, again, you can see, he's just, on one hand, he's just happy to be here, but he didn't get this far just to get this far. He really wants to make his dreams come true and show the world that, hey, you can bounce back from nearly the brink of death.
Hard whip into the corner.
Look at that, he got out of the way.
Nobody home, and Solar hits sternum first right into the top turnbuckle pad.
And so now this is interesting because we've seen Aaron Belair more so on the defense, moving out of the way and getting out of trouble. The question now is, can he turn on the offense and get in control of this contest?
We know he's got that athleticism, that great athletic background. We know he's quick, able to avoid some of these big blows here from Solar. Now both men back up on their feet. Can he capitalize here? Big lariat there from Belair.
And now you can start to see that momentum. Look at this. Wow. There it is. A belly to belly right there. Shades of one of his idols, Bailey, who he still keeps in contact with.
What a move here. And he brought the crowd to their feet, the Belair fan club. He went for this move earlier. Can he hit it this time? Oh, and he just spiked Solar's head.
That's the rose plant from Bailey. And he wins it.
What a win.
Here is your winner, Aaron Belair.
What a win in his debut match for Aaron Belair.
Well, you can see the influence of the woman who you could say is responsible for helping to save his life, and that's Bailey. From, of course, the belly to belly to the rose plant, Aaron Belair is here to stay at Student Showcase 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall.
Illustrated Man, JD Inc. making his return here tonight to the Nightmare Factory, taking on another newcomer here tonight from Camp 16. He's going to have his work cut out for him here. He's not really making any friends here with this crowd.
Yeah, JD Inc. is not known for his ability to make friends and influence people.
245 pounds, standing 6'2" from Des Moines, Iowa.
Now, you know, GB, we talked to this young man before the show, and you know how I know he was raised right?
Tell me how.
Because he just graduated high school very recently.
Did?
But he grew up watching Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
He did, and that is, of course, thanks to his uncle who would pick him up from school, and they'd go home and they would watch old videos of pro wrestling, and of course, they would watch The Excellence of Execution, The Heartbreak Kid, and what a great era of pro wrestling to be trained on and to be introduced to the sport on.
Oh, wait a second there. JD Inc. throwing his shorts right to the face of Rose here.
So here it is. You look at JD Inc. and he looks exceptionally polished. You would not know that he was a part of the last Student Showcase 15, but he's been so good that they let him literally come out of school and wrestle in other promotions.
They sure have. And again, we talked about him not making friends with the crowd. The crowd already getting onto JD Inc., getting on his nerves. Now into a side headlock. Ethan Rose onto JD Inc.
Ethan Rose already has the size advantage in this contest. Certainly taller than JD Inc. Inc., of course, having the experience in ring. Oh, but look at that. Did you see how Ethan brushed his shoulders off? He's a confident one.
Oh, and JD Inc. saw it coming that time. He took one too many shoulder tackles already. He didn't want another one.
Smart move there from JD Inc. And again, you're not obligated to just sit there and take the beating. You kind of make a move to reestablish momentum. And that was a smart move there from JD.
Ethan, of course, letting us know he's also a big fan of Sting when he was growing up. And more recently, a big fan of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And when you know it, he ends up here at the Nightmare Factory and one of his coaches.
Well, certainly amid his time watching Bret Hart and Sting, he also enjoyed Cody Rhodes and figured, you know, when he wanted to go to a wrestling school, go to the wrestling school of one of your favorite wrestlers, and that made all kinds of sense for him, and that's why he's from Des Moines, Iowa, all the way here to Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice side headlock takeover there. Now into the head scissors goes JD Inc. You see Rose trying to kip up out of it, and he does, but a big shot right to the midsection from Inc.
And JD Inc., literally you understand why his name is that way, because there's almost no part of him that isn't without ink.
You know, he's got a fresh tattoo down the right side of him. Oh. When we were talking to our ring announcer Diana before the show, that was the only empty spot available. And now he's fully covered, but a scoop slam and a pin attempt here from Ethan Rose, but just a 2 count.
There's no vacancy in the tattoo in of JD Inc., that's for sure.
Now, wait a second. We talked about Cody Rhodes earlier. Could he be looking for... No, wait a second.
That Cody Rhodes or perhaps shades of Sting there. Either way, we may never know because JD Inc. completely interrupted that.
Now JD Inc. back in control. Going to send Rose across into the corner.
Oh, wow. And you can tell that Rose is out of it already. That's one of the challenges. He got whipped into the turnbuckle so hard he didn't know where he was, and he came out of that turnbuckle and ate a drop kick for his troubles.
Rose told us he was a big fan of the showmanship of professional wrestling. And you see the nice sparkly pants he's got on.
Yeah, you do.
But it's not doing many favors right now as he's getting choked across that middle rope. And Lou Santiago all over JD Inc. now, reprimanding JD.
And here's one of the tough parts, and I mentioned it earlier in this broadcast, that, you know, when you are having your debut match, you're trying to think through, okay, what would I do in this situation? What would I do in that situation? You think about theory and all kinds of things that you have learned, but it hits differently when you're getting kicked in the chest like that by JD Inc.
Man, oh man, those boots right to the sternum from Inc. to Rose. Rose trying to catch his breath now as he tries to make his way back up to his feet.
And we know you guys are commenting in the chat about what you are seeing. You are certainly looking at potentially 2 future stars here in our business. Big snap suplex there from JD Inc.
JD Inc. showing off his strength, suplexing the much larger man. Now a lateral press, but just a 2 count.
JD Inc. does not look fazed by the fact that he didn't get the cover on that. He understands, hey, I've got much more in the tank, and he may want to take Ethan Rose to deep waters and see just how well he can swim.
Rose back up, shots to the midsection now, trying to create separation from JD Inc. He finally does. Rose a little woozy there, but he's going to try to send Inc. across, but he gets countered and eats a back elbow from JD Inc.
And that's the other thing. I think Rose is really starting to understand how winded he's getting in this whole scenario. And JD Inc., of course, who has been wrestling now for several months, is all good. His endurance, I mean, you look at his body. I mean, the tattoos can't hide the muscles or the abs that he's got going on.
Rose able to slide off the back, and now perhaps looking for it one more time. Will he connect this time? No, JD Inc. says not so fast. Sends him over with a snapmare. And now into the ropes. Oh, nice shotgun drop kick sends Rose across the ring.
And I don't know that we're surprised that JD Inc. has been in control of this contest.
Pin attempt here from Inc.
And it could be over right here.
Ooh, another 2 count. Uh-oh. And now it's time for some ground and pound from JD Inc.
And the frustration is starting to build for JD Inc. And now if JD Inc. gets too emotional, this could be the moment for Ethan Rose to hop in.
That's right. You got to look for the mistake here. And that might be what Rose could do. But Rose is still down. I don't know if he's playing possum, or if he's just catching his breath. I'm not sure here. But you know what? JD Ink's taking a little too much time to get to the top rope.
Yeah, he's taking way too much time, and I hope that this doesn't work against him for his sake. As now Ink up to the top rope.
Oh, comes out with a double axe handle, but gets caught in the midsection, and it turned him inside out there.
And now can Ethan Rose pick up the pace? Can he capitalize on this moment? Can he catch his breath and figure out strategically what he needs to do to move things into the win column?
Both men now slowly back up to their feet. Gonna meet back in the middle. Big lariat from Rose, and another one.
And Ethan Rose now is starting to get his wits about him.
Into the ropes he goes. Oh, the boot right across the head, and a neck breaker from Ethan Rose.
I love that combination there, that boot into the neck breaker. And now he's waiting for JD to get up. He's got a plan. And I wonder if it's this move that we've heard all about. He calls this the kiss from a rose.
And there it is.
Cold sealed because it's all done. Ethan Rose has worked incredibly hard, and all of that hard work has paid off in his debut match. A huge win against JD Ink. Rose has worked incredibly hard, and we're excited for him, and that's just indicative of the great new athletes we see here at the Nightmare Factory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a tag team match set for one fall.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Shut your mouth. He is the head coach of Belair University, Jack Jameson.
Well, when you talk about graduates from the Nightmare Factory, well, I was going to say, there it is. He needs his time.
All you fat morons and skinny idiots, shut up. I am Post Malone. I'm a puppinator, Jack Jameson. And today, not only is it Dono graduating the Nightmare Factory class, in fact, everybody is, give him a round of applause. Shut up! Shut up! Nobody cares. He's gonna get a chance to join Body Guy University. Kid, you win, you're in. You lose, you don't want to lose.
Wow.
Well, Dono got his warning there. Dono Hefner.
What an opportunity for
Senior
Dono.
opponents.
If he wins, he's part of BGU. If he loses,
Well, you don't want to know about that.
yeah, interesting.
Jeez, kind of reminds me of my first night in the business.
Luckily, you won.
Thankfully, I won.
So he kept you around.
Yeah.
Oh, look at here.
Wow.
Weighing in a combined weight of 450 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, the team of Meister and Jake Hill. It's party time!
It's party time, GB.
Totally, dude.
Oh, man, party time, excellent. Irv Meister and Jake Hill. What a unique combination here. Both men from Atlanta, Georgia, and both men ready to party.
They certainly are. Irv Meister, you saw, had the piñata, and he definitely has roots there in Mexico.
Listen to this crowd.
They love him.
Already behind party time here tonight.
How exciting is it in your debut match when your friends and family know your name and they're ready to chant for you?
This is awesome. And, of course, we love the great crowd here at the Nightmare Factory, full of friends and family from Camp 16. And they are ready to see party time get down and dirty here in this tag team matchup.
And I'm sure there are just as many, if not exponentially more, family and friends watching right now on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us, and make sure you're leaving great comments for your friends and family who happen to be in the ring, or who some of your favorite standouts are from Class 16.
Of course, we got Jack Jameson with BGU, the head coach of BGU, starting things out with Irv Meister from Party Time. Now, of course, if you remember a few weeks ago, Jack Jameson in the Holiday Rumble at Monday Nightmares, he won the opportunity, the #1 contendership for Luke Sampson's Nightmare Factory Championship.
Aha.
That match will be coming up here in the near future, but it looks like Jameson's going to tag in Dono. Dono now making his debut here in his first time in the ring here against Irv Meister.
You know, if it's not enough pressure just to be in your debut match with the world. Whoa! What a chop there from Irv Meister. If being in your debut match isn't enough in front of such a large audience, trying to audition and interview for Body Guy University has to be a real challenge.
By the way, look at those dance moves from Irv Meister.
Yeah, he called it. It's party time for a reason, and they're ready to party at any moment.
Ducks a clothesline into the ropes, off the ropes, and oh, sling blade from Meister.
I love what I'm seeing there from Meister. Oh boy.
Dono's in trouble. Blind tag there from Jake Hill. I don't think Dono saw it. Now he's going to get some tag team work here from Party Time. Double back elbow.
Goodness, he took a hard double elbow there.
The legal man, Jake Hill with the pin here, but just a 1 count.
So there's a moment where, again, you start to see how young these guys are in the business. Meister didn't get out of the ring in enough time. That could have been a longer count there. But look at that cool blind tag. Doesn't matter as Meister is getting ready to hop to the top rope here.
Oh,
wait.
Dono's in trouble here.
Oh, this might not end well.
Meister all the way up top.
And they got a question. What's up?
Oh man.
Wow. I think that might be the first "what's up" we've ever seen in a student showcase.
I think you're right, and the crowd loves it. Party Time chant ringing out throughout the Nightmare Factory, and Dono gets sent across one more time. Meister looking for a hip toss. Instead, he eats a clothesline from Dono.
Dono had to remember not just who he was, but who he was trying to audition for, because he was taking a lot of punishment. But he remembered and tagged back in to Jack Jameson. That's got to be a brilliant move.
Yeah, Dono's got a huge opportunity in front of him here to become a member of BGU if they can win this matchup. And now Jameson in, but he gets kicked to the ropes with the leg strength there.
Oh, but look at that.
Oh, look at Dono on the outside. He pulled down Jake Hill right when Meister was trying to make the tag.
Dono is very interested in making it, of course, to Body Guy University, and I'm impressed with this interview that we're seeing right now. Smart veteran maneuver, pulling the opponent down so that Irv Meister couldn't make the tag.
And Jack Jameson nearly took the head off of Irv Meister with that lariat, and now face first into the top turnbuckle goes Meister.
You know, you see it, Jack Jameson. He is another great example of a graduate here from the Nightmare Factory who has gone on to be seen on national and international television. We've seen him, of course, in Ring of Honor. We've seen him in AEW, and that's just the trajectory, one of the many places that Nightmare Factory students find themselves after graduating from these student showcases and these camps.
Another strong whip into the corner, scoops the arm, hooks the leg, but just a 2 count. Meister able to kick out. You know, I talked to Jack Jameson before the show. I said, what are you doing to prepare this young man for this huge opportunity? He said, I've been having Dono sip on some of that Savage sauce.
Oh boy, you know what happens when you sip on the Savage sauce.
Oh boy, well,
you end up taking trips to places we can't talk about.
Yeah, and Party Time's going to figure that out the hard way here, as now the referee distracted by Jake Hill, and Meister getting double teamed here in the corner.
And in comes Dono Hefner, and another quick tag, and that's kind of smart actually, because if Dono wants to win, do you do most of the work, or do you let that work fall on the guy interviewing you in this tag team scenario?
But Meister with a comeback here, a shot to Dono and a shot to Jack Jameson. This time he misses a clothesline.
Oh, with a spear!
Spear from Dono! Spear from Dono, the legal man. Jack Jameson with the pin. And a kick out by Meister.
The intensity there from Hefner, that's how you know he had been sipping on that Savage sauce.
Absolutely, but give it up to Meister, able to kick out after that vicious spear.
I'm telling you what now, I'm not around making the decisions in Body Guy University, but I think after that spear, Dono gets my vote.
There's that strong right kick right to the midsection of Meister from Dono.
That midsection that was certainly damaged by the spear that we just saw. And this is smart, not just tag team wrestling, it's smart wrestling. Find a body part, work on that body part, and take it down until you get to the point where you get the win.
Irv Meister in a world of trouble right now as Jack Jameson, with that sadistic look on his face, going to send Meister hard into the corner one more time. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Basically, Jack Jameson is like, no, it's my party.
He's taking over the party. It's a BGU party. And now BGU just having their way with Irv Meister in the corner.
And I like, again, frequent tags here from Dono Hefner and Jack Jameson. And you know, Jameson is accustomed to tag team wrestling, so it looks like he may have really found himself.
Oh, penitent here. Ooh.
Looks like he might have found an asset there in Dono Hefner, but Irv Meister has got to get to the corner and tag Jake Hill.
And now, as if enough wasn't already taken out of Meister. Jack Jameson going to try to choke the life out of Meister here as he desperately needs a tag.
Yeah, Meister might as well be 500 miles away from his partner in his corner because he's not getting out of the grip of Jack Jameson anytime soon.
But he's back up to his feet. He's using those back elbows right to the ribs of Jack Jameson, trying to break free. Finally does DDT! DDT from Meister!
And can Meister capitalize? Interestingly enough, the position that he had the DDT, it is as though literally Jack Jameson is blocking his trajectory to get over to his partner, Jake Hill.
Both men down, both men trying to get back to their feet.
Both men trying to get to the tag, and now they're making their way to their respective corners. We got a tag coming there from Jack Jameson, but now Jake Hill is finally tagged in.
Oh, Jake Hill with a big lariat to Jack Jameson, and one for Dono as well. There's another one. Great series of clotheslines. Shot to the midst. Stunner! Stunner!
Whoa.
Stunner from Jake Hill!
And now, a rock bottom!
Unbelievable. Two of his heroes growing up, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, and you're seeing shades of it right there. And a massive spine buster, Triple H, another big hero.
Jake Hill incorporating all of his heroes into this debut match, and he's chanting party time.
And the crowd's right behind him here as now he's got Dono up on the shoulders. What's he got in mind here? But Dono escapes.
Uh-oh, a very unique kick there. Oh! Nice neck breaker there from Dono Hefner.
Man, what a move. He just rocked Jake Hill and now pulls Jake into the corner. Now Dono gonna go up top, but he's in enemy territory. He's gotta be careful because there's Irv Meister, but a shot to Irv Meister sends him back down to the floor.
What in the world does he have it? No way.
Uh-oh.
Wow! Went for a moonsault, but there was nobody in the pool.
Nobody home, and Jake Hill now with a roll-up. Will it be enough?
That could be, and he got him!
Here is your winner, the team of Meister and Jake Hill.
Well, Jake Hill, who spent a great part of this training overcoming imposter syndrome, let me tell you, sir, you are fantastic. You are good enough. And tonight, you're a winner. And it's time for you and your tag team partner to engage in a good party.
Uh-oh, and now Jack Jameson really giving it to Dono there with a shot to the midsection as he did not pass the test.
Oh, wow.
What is it? The party stick, and the pinata gets busted right across the head of Jack Jameson.
And there's candy everywhere. And now Dono.
Oh, DDT to Jack Jameson from Dono. The members of Camp 16 sticking together.
They unite, and here come the streamers.
Heads up, it's party time up in here, GB.
It is party time. We love seeing this. Congratulations. And now, Dono Hefner is ready to party with the rest of party time.
Man, oh man, what a tag team matchup we just saw. I want some candy?
I know you do.
Some of that candy over there. Come on now.
You never know what's going to happen here at Student Showcase 16, but we appreciate you guys joining us on YouTube. And guess what? We've got more to come.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall.
Get wild, baby. This might as well be my showcase.
Introducing first, weighing in at 205 pounds, from anywhere but here, Jimmy Wild.
I gotta tell you, GB, this guy's got a real attitude problem. You know, he and I got into it at a recent Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling show.
Uh-oh.
So I'm hoping this newcomer, Nova Knight, gives him a little what for.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy Wild has picked a lot of places to be from if he's anywhere but here.
Yeah.
And his opponent.
But I will say, this young man, Nova Knight, who's about to make his way out here, will have his hands full. I won't take anything away from Jimmy Wild. He's a great athlete, but I'm excited to see this newcomer.
Weighing in at 180 pounds, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Supernova, Nova Knight.
He is indeed the Supernova, and I'm excited to see what Nova Knight brings to the table here in his debut match. Again, a lot of debut matches happening here at Student Showcase 16.
Nova Knight impressing a lot of people throughout this 12-week camp. Got himself a fresh new haircut for this showcase.
Indeed. You know, that's what you do when you have a big moment. You kind of make sure you look fresh to death. You get all your things looking right so that you can impress, because he knows that the eyes of the world are paying attention.
And Nova Knight starting a Jimmy Mild chant.
Wow.
And the crowd chanting right along.
Well, I would imagine you would not want to get your opponent mad at you in your debut match for reasons just like that, because that didn't look mild.
Yeah, big mat return there for Jimmy Wild. But I see some Nova Knight signs out there in the crowd. I think the Nova Knight fan club is here as well tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting to me about Nova Knight. Nova Knight, began watching pro wrestling back at the age of 12, and some of his favorites as he was growing up are amazing superstars like Randy Orton, John Cena, two future Hall of Famers for sure. But I'm interested to see how all of that will translate into what he's currently doing as a brand new pro wrestler.
Drop toe hold there from Nova Knight. Nova's got to be careful here. Don't show off too much. Don't showboat too much into this crowd, because Jimmy Wild won't stay down for long.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's very tempting once you land a move in this environment where you have friends and family to land a move and hit a pose, but you got to remember that the goal is to get the win. Then you pose, then you party with your friends and family.
Jimmy Wild now going to send Nova across into the ropes. Nova ducks a clothesline, charges back in. Oh, wait a second now. Up and over, lands on his feet. Quick roll up for Nova. Ooh, 2 count.
Nova getting a quick count there. And now, you can kind of watch how he is thinking, okay, what's my next move? And wow, he went, whoa, that definitely hurt. He went for that arm drag, but nobody was there.
And you see the build, you see the singlet. He is a former amateur wrestler, is Nova Knight, as he comes in with that straight left hand right to the forehead of Jimmy Wild.
And as an amateur wrestler, as he got into the business, he really started to gravitate toward those who had strong mat games, like Ilya Dragunov.
Whoa, 2 count.
And multi-time champion Gunther, he's really paid attention to these mat technicians, and of course, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
So you got in mind here, looking for a suplex perhaps, but Jimmy Wild now with the back elbows right to the back of the head of Nova Knight. Now Jimmy Wild, showing the strength here, catapult Nova Knight into the corner, but he landed on the second rope. Oh, wow. But the feet get taken out by Jimmy Wild, and now Nova Knight in a bad way.
Nova Knight, obviously, a big neck breaker there, and that could stop your career before it ever gets started.
That was nasty. Now Jimmy Wild going to jaw with the crowd a little bit instead of taking advantage and going for a pinfall.
Yeah, Jimmy Wild is doing quite a bit here, and again, in this match, he is a bit of the veteran, having spent more time, certainly in previous camps. And Nova Knight right now seems to be going to the learning tree that is Jimmy Wild.
Yeah, Nova Knight got his work cut out for him here as he finally makes his way back up into the corner, but he's in trouble now with those boots to the midsection here from Jimmy Wild.
Jimmy Wild right now all over Nova Knight, and all of the great fanfare that Nova Knight came out to initially is seemingly forgotten, as Nova Knight is literally trying to catch his breath right now.
And Jimmy Wild almost just trying to add insult to injury here. Not going to go for a pin, just going to kind of play with his food here.
Here's what's kind of interesting about this. We've seen previous camp members come back, and there's a different intensity that they have perhaps in their indie matches or in other promotions versus here. They seem to be taking more time, and they may not be taking...
Pin attempt! 2 count.
They may not be taking the current members of Camp 16 as seriously as they need to. I don't see the kind of drive that Jimmy Wild needs to have in a scenario like this.
And these guys have to be careful because we've already seen some upsets here tonight, GP.
Yes, we have.
might see another one here. Nova Knight can catch his breath here. And right there, he got out of the way. Now looking for a backslide here. Can we see an upset?
And it could be just that quick.
Ooh.
Here's what the previous campers have to remember, that your opponent, those in Camp 16, don't have to be 5 minutes better. They don't have to be 10 minutes better or a 60-minute classic better. They only need to be 3 seconds better to get the win and create lots of internal conversation here in the Nightmare Factory.
Nova Knight now brought up to his feet one more time, and Jimmy Wild perhaps looking for another neck breaker, and oh, he stuck him right in the center of the ring.
And right now, again, Nova Knight is in big trouble. And you gotta wonder how he has learned to respond to these kinds of challenges in training. And of course, with this being his debut match, it's his first opportunity to really let people see what he's learned and how he handles adversity.
Jimmy Wild there with that rear chin lock applied, but Nova Knight finally makes his way back up to his feet. And a couple of body shots here, trying to break free of this hold, and he finally does. Into the ropes goes Nova Knight, but he ate a picture-perfect drop kick from Jimmy Wild.
That drop kick was absolutely incredible, and Jimmy Wild is admiring his work right now.
Soaking up the booze from this great crowd here in the Nightmare Factory.
And I hope that doesn't come back to bite him right now, as he is in control of Nova Knight. But you've got to really stop playing with your food at this point. You need to go ahead and wrap this thing up and walk out of here with a victory representing the previous camps here at the Nightmare Factory.
What's Wild got in mind here? Gonna drag Nova to the edge of the ring there. Now Wild's going out to the ring apron. What's this all about?
Wild has an idea here. Let's see if he pulls it off.
Heads up. Oh, nice floating senton over the ropes. And he caught him right in the gut. Now you see the pain, the agony now that Nova Knight is in.
Nova Knight is in trouble. And look at this methodic pace, and this could do it.
Ooh, another pin and another 2 count.
The intentional pace right now of Jimmy Wild basically says, hey, I'm going to take my time and finish this when I get good and ready. And the thing is, Nova Knight right now does not know how to recover.
Well, look at this, GB.
We know about this.
Hang on now. Jimmy Wild looks to be tuning up the band, if you will.
Indeed he is, and if he hits this, it's a wrap. Oh, he got close.
Yeah, went for sweet chin music, and no, he got countered into a DDT. But does Nova Knight have enough to capitalize here? So much has been taken out of Knight throughout this entire match.
Indeed, and now you can see both of these men trying to regroup and gather themselves so they can figure out how they can get the upper hand in this matchup.
Both men moving very slowly. The referee implementing that 10 count.
It looked like for sure Jimmy Wild got the worst of that, but Nova Knight kind of did that as a desperation move in an attempt to create some space and get some time.
Jimmy Wild now back up to his feet. Nova Knight not far behind. Oh, clothesline. Jimmy Wild walked right into it. And another one there from Nova Knight.
And Nova Knight now, look at this springboard.
Oh!
Beautiful flying body press.
How about that cross body? And Nova Knight is fired up, and so is this great crowd.
He is, he's fired up. He's excited that he hit that move, and now he's got to capitalize on that. Is he giving too much room to Jimmy Wild?
Uh-oh, look out now. Might be looking for what he calls the Nova Bomb there, but Jimmy Wild with those back elbows able to escape.
Oh, wow, cross chop right there in the throat. Oh, there's that super kick.
Uh-oh, that might be it. Hook
It's
of the leg.
over. Thanks for coming, Nova.
Whoa! Whoa!
Nova found a way to kick out.
GB, unbelievable. I can't believe he kicked out of that super kick there from Jimmy Wild.
Nova has a ton of heart, and that heart is on display right now, but will it be enough to translate into a victory?
And what else can Nova Knight do here after taking that super kick? Uh-oh.
And how much more can Nova absorb?
Well,
That's
just when I say that.
And here it is, there's the Nova Bomb!
Just when I say that, he connects with a Nova Bomb.
Out of nowhere!
Gonna do it!
Here's your winner,
Nova Knight victorious here tonight. It's showcase number 16.
Huge, huge win there for Nova. And I told you, you don't have to be 5 or 10 minutes better. You just need to be 3 seconds better. And Nova pulled that victory out of the jaws of defeat and was 3 to 6 seconds better, which earned him his first victory here in his debut matchup.
What a matchup. Fans, don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for 1 fall.
All right, GB, some more great tag team action coming our way here in the Nightmare Factory.
Introducing first, at a combined age of 44 years, from Paradise City, Arizona, the team of Nikki H and Tommy Boy, the Superstar.
I want to make sure I heard that correctly. Did they say a combined age?
Yeah.
And it's a combined age of 44, so if indeed that is accurate, neither of them are 25, or so we think.
Correct. Oh, the superstars are going to have the work cut out for them here with this new fresh-faced tag team
that has international connections.
Absolutely.
Introducing first, weighing at 160 pounds, from Florence, Italy, Starboy Sean Young. And his tag team partner, weighing at 180 pounds, from Florence, France, Eddie Daniel.
All right, Diana Michelle.
That international team there of Starboy, Sean Young, and Eddie Daniel. And these two, again, international roots from Italy, from France, and that is, again, the far-reaching nature of what we do here at the Nightmare Factory, literally coming from all around the world to be here.
It looks like Eddie Daniel and Tommy Marr is going to be starting out the matchup for their respective teams. And GB, you know, we talked about all night. There's been folks having their very first matches, their debuts here tonight. Well,
Yes.
these are two men, these international, as you mentioned, the international flavor from France, from Italy. Both men actually debuted a couple of years back, so they've had a few matches under their belt at this point.
You know, that's one of the things that we do see here at the Nightmare Factory. It is not just for those who have never entered the pro wrestling business. It is for those who have spent time here in the pro wrestling business and they want to further and sharpen their craft. And in this particular case, both Sean Young and Eddie Daniel came from Europe and said, if we're going to do this in this business, we've got to go to the premier school in the United States. And that, of course, is the Nightmare Factory.
Well, you see Tommy Mars. I mentioned him starting it out, but it looked like Tommy Mars and Nikki A trying to decide, doing paper, scissors, rock, both continuously landing on rock, of course, because they're rock and rollers.
Of course.
And Lou Santiago, our official, got to wear the heart-shaped sunglasses.
What a unique opportunity for our referee.
Kind of jealous there, but it is going to be Nikki 8 after all with the superstars starting things out against Eddie Daniel.
And this is really exciting to see. Eddie Daniel, of course, he is from France, and he was a part of Fighter Revenge Pro Wrestling.
FRPW indeed. So made his rounds all throughout France and now made his way over here to the States and training at the best, one of the best schools here in the country is now Nikki 8 has him in a hammerlock.
You know, one of the things that's so interesting to me is when we get to talk to some of these great young competitors, their goals are all so different. But when you come from another country, there is the goal and the desire to prove to be the best in that country. And that's something that both Eddie Daniel and Sean Young share in common. They want to represent their countries very well.
And you could see the fluidity there for Eddie Daniel. You could tell very obviously that it's not his first rodeo with that very slick fireman's carry takeover. And now both men back up in the corner. Is Eddie Daniel, with that look on his face, a little insulted there that he got shoved by Nikki 8, the superstar.
These superstars who have been really all over the wrestling world. We've seen them locally and nationally as well. They spent some time on AEW television as well as on Ring of Honor. A big splash there coming from Eddie Daniel.
Eddie Daniel with a kick right to the midsection on Nikki 8. Oh, maybe looking for a cutter of sorts, but he gets in the corner, and a shot for Tommy Mars. But a spear in the corner from Nikki 8.
And now there's a tag. In comes Tommy Mars. Mars rolls through, and here's one of the, oh, wow. Big right hand there.
By the way, Tommy Mars, fresh out of the New Japan Dojo out there in California, is making his way back to Georgia. We've seen him plenty before with Nikki 8, but he's been gone for a while out west, and now he's finally back here, trying to show us all what he's learned.
Ironically, it's very similar to what we're seeing with Sean Young and Eddie Daniel. How, you know, you never stop learning. You always keep continuing to grow, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly how these two schools, the Nightmare Factory and the New Japan Dojo, impact what we're seeing with the superstars. But right now, they're in trouble, and now we see Sean Young, the Star Boy, in the ring for the first time here at the Nightmare Factory.
Some great tag team work from this international flavor. Should we call him international flavor? I like that name.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
We might go with that. I don't know. It's up to you guys. But hey, look out.
Sean Young, the Star Boy, coming to us from Florence, Italy. He said one of his goals throughout his career is to be able to do two things.
10 attempt, hang on. on.
And there's a 2 count for those 2 things. Count number 1, deep arm drag. He would love to win the historic NWA World Championship and then take it back.
Pin attempt, 2 count.
And take it back and defend it in Italy. And then a second goal, which is equal to the first, is to main event WrestleMania.
Well, he's in the right place. He's got the right coaches to achieve both of those things.
Absolutely. I mean, both have traveled the world. And, of course, one of those coaches has indeed main evented WrestleMania not once, but at least twice. Could do it a 3rd time.
Back elbows from the Star Boy. Oh, but a handful of hair from Nikki 8 sends Sean Young down to the mat.
And now this is where the tag team continuity of the Superstars comes into play.
And now with Tommy Mars distracting our official, Nikki 8 taking full advantage and now choking Sean Young.
Nikki 8 and Tommy Mars, again, doing what they do well, and what they're doing is breaking the rules and creating their own advantage right now over Sean Young and Eddie Daniel.
Now, Eddie Daniel, Sean Young, not used to teaming together, as you saw there, that Eddie Daniel distracting the ref, not doing his partner any favors now, but Sean Young in a world of trouble in that side headlock, but he's finally making his way back up to his feet. Those back elbows right to the ribs of Tommy Mars, trying to break loose, but he eats a knee right to the midsection.
Now here's the unique thing about Sean Young and Eddie Daniel. No, they have not teamed up in a wrestling ring before, but they were roommates the entire length of this 12-week camp.
Ooh,
so they at least know something and have some degree of familiarity. But will it be? Whoa.
That was a close one, GB.
Very, very close, and all of that time together as roommates almost went up in smoke there. Had the Star Boy gotten pinned, but he made a great kick out there.
Now Nikki 8 going to allow him to slowly make his way back to his feet, him being, of course, Sean Young, but Sean Young with a right hand right to the face, and Nikki 8 answers right back.
Yeah, Nikki 8 isn't here for the disrespect, that's for sure, but at a combined age of 44, have we figured out who the oldest member of the Superstars is?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I'll have to talk to him after the show.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we'll see what kind of mood they're in.
Well, it depends on if they win or lose. Yeah, if they lose, I'm not talking to them.
Well, here's one thing that we do know. If they are indeed a combined age of 44, I'm sure one of them isn't 40 and the other isn't 4.
Well, that's true.
Pretty sure of that.
Great tag team continuity here. The quick tags as both members of the Superstars taking turns teeing off on Sean Young. Oh, wait a second
wow. They did not plan for that one there. Coming from Eddie Young. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, Eddie
Daniel there.
Look out. Oh, look out, Sean Young. Up on the shoulder now. Tommy Mars trying to make a tag. Nikki 8 going to pull Eddie Daniel off the corner. And now in the opposite corner, Sean Young in trouble here, eating some shoulders there from Tommy Mars.
This match is starting to break down, but this is the kind of chaos that the Superstars have loved ever since their inception here at the Nightmare Factory.
And now the Superstars looking to take full control of this matchup here is Sean Young all by his lonesome right now. Eddie Daniel still on the floor on the outside. Scoop slam there from Tommy Mars. Little tag team work. Cazador into a splash from Nikki 8. And a pin attempt here. Will it be enough?
This could do it. And whoa, whoa, whoa.
The Starboy able to get the shoulder up just in time.
Yeah, he barely made it. And Starboy is going to have to figure out how to get to his tag team partner, but his partner is certainly not even up on the apron after getting beat down by the Superstars.
Oh, now wait a second. Little insult to injury there from Tommy Mars with that kick.
Not the nicest greeting at all.
Eddie Daniel still slowly trying to make his way back up to the ring apron. And Sean Young still in trouble here, ducks a clothesline. Oh, wait a second, a sling blade. Sling blade from Starboy.
And I'm sure the sling blade has been certainly a popularized move in the world of New Japan, thanks to Hiroshi Tanahashi. But the real question is, can Sean Young get to his partner, Eddie Daniel, and get somewhat of the fresh man in for that tag team?
Mars also trying to make a tag, and both men make tags. Here comes Nikki 8, here comes Eddie Daniel. Daniel with a huge clothesline and a shot to Tommy Mars on the outside. Back elbow to Nikki 8. And now Eddie Daniel with a shot to the midsection.
Eddie Daniel moving incredibly fast as one of his previous trainers, Leo Rush.
And a tip. Oh!
Whoa, whoa,
Two
whoa.
count.
Almost a 3 count there. And Eddie Daniel combining all that he has learned from Alexander Wolf, from Enzo Amore, from Leo Rush, from all of the great coaches here at the Nightmare Factory. Can all of that translate into a big win over the Superstars?
Stunner! Stunner! Will it be enough? Lateral press, hook in the leg. Tommy Mars breaks it up.
And you can't blame Tommy Mars. And Tommy Mars, what was that in his mouth?
A party favor?
That is what it was.
From the previous match, from the party time?
I'll tell you.
Wait a second.
You never know what these what'll come out with the superstars. And here we go, almost a glory special, but there's a plan at play.
Nikki 8 looking to rock and roll here, but he gets stuck with a kick there. Double kick there from Eddie Daniel. Eddie Daniel with the right hand of Tommy Mars.
Very creative way to escape that move there from Eddie Daniel.
Blind tag. I don't think Tommy Mars saw it. Tilt-a-whirl. DDT. Tommy Mars just ate the canvas, and here comes Sean Young. Heads up. Oh! That
was the Eiffel Tower into that springboard cutter that he calls the Star Cutter.
Will it be enough?
They got him.
Here are your winners, the team of Sean Young and Eddie Daniel.
What a tag team debut from this international flavor. Eddie Daniel and Sean Young, what a match.
What a match, what a team. And they've proven that you can come from anywhere in the world and find your place here at the Nightmare Factory and here in this United States. I believe we'll be seeing more of Young and Daniel throughout the wrestling world.
Man, oh man, what a match. We got more to come, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one more.
Well, Joey Holiday is here, and it is not his first rodeo, but I'll tell you, if there was someone who was ever lacking confidence, it's not him.
His opponent.
Very excited for this debut on the way. Lots to tell you about this gentleman.
Oh.
He is the White Wolf, Eric St. James.
A very unique look for the debuting White Wolf, Eric St. James, who, while it is his first pro wrestling match, it is not his first foray into the world of combat sports. We'll get into that, but what a look.
Man, oh man, the White Wolf. And of course, GB, you talked about Joey Holiday, this not being his first rodeo. Well, he actually stepped foot through these doors pre-pandemic, pre-Nightmare Factory, when it was still the One Fall Power Factory, along with Coach QT, Coach Glacier. Of course, the pandemic, worldwide pandemic, would put a halt to his training, but now he's finally back to pick up where he left off. So not his first match, not his debut here tonight. I've also seen him have matches with the Nightmare Factory champion, Luke Sampson, and the world-renowned Satnam Singh, of all people.
Yes, so that's some great experience there for Joey Holiday. But think about the level of determination it takes when you start pursuing your dream and then something completely unexpected happens, halts your progress, and it takes him out of the loop for several years in this case. He started in 2020. He resumed in 2023.
Quick roll up, hang on! Whoa. Oh, we almost saw a quick upset there from Joey Holiday. Man, oh man.
Holiday would have loved that for sure, because you can make the argument that this might be the largest stage he's been on to date in his career, with thousands watching right now on YouTube, knowing how many eyes are on the Nightmare Factory. Joey Holiday wants to make a statement.
Holiday, John with the crowd here. Better keep his focus on his opponent, the White Wolf. Looking for a backslide. Can we have a 3 count? No, another 2 count. Wow. Not short on the trash talk here is Joey Holiday.
I was going to say, that's one of the things that wears you out. Joey Holiday is that kind of guy that beats you and talks about it, and I don't know which is worse, the beating or the talking.
Well, the White Wolf doesn't want any of it here. Is he looking for a test of strength, perhaps?
Now, it's interesting. The White Wolf and Joey Holiday have something in common. Both have been involved in combat fighting before donning the shores of the pro wrestling world. But there's a big flying clothesline there.
How about that from St. James?
And that clothesline looked incredibly polished, and one of the reasons why is St. James has 10 years of experience there in jiu-jitsu. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He also spent 5 years in Muay Thai, and so he's somebody who is very familiar with the art of hand-to-hand combat.
Look at this, gonna walk the ropes, gonna go a little old school here.
You gotta believe it.
Big elbow right across the shoulder of Joey Holiday.
One of the reasons he calls himself the White Wolf. Oh, look. Nice sidewalk slam there.
Yeah.
He calls him, go ahead.
Using the momentum there of Joey Holiday into that side suplex.
He calls himself the White Wolf because on top of all that he's done in the realm of, and look at this, if he hits this, oh wow, he had something special. He called this, but we may not see.
Yeah, he calls it the heart of the pack. If he would have connected with that, that might have been all she wrote, but it looked like Holiday saw it coming and was able to counter out of it.
For sure, the White Wolf has spent quite a bit of time hunting in the Catskill Mountains, an area I'm very, very familiar with. But he has decided to turn his focus from hunting animals and deer to hunting people. And as a result of that, he chose to join the military, but he got caught there with a big clothesline.
Pin attempt here. How about that with that hammerlock into a lariat from Joey Holiday? Multiple 2 counts here. Joey Holiday really, I think, kind of surprising the White Wolf.
I think he is surprising the White Wolf. I think the White Wolf came in thinking that with all of his years of previous combat experience, that this would be, you know, a super easy transition, and he's finding out how difficult it is to translate those skills into the wrestling ring.
Man, Holiday put some pepper on that one.
He certainly did.
Oh, man.
Oh, but that seemed to have woken up the White Wolf.
Eric St. James not taking too kindly, gonna return the favor here as St. James.
And things are starting to get intense there for Eric St. James.
Counter from Holiday, gonna send St. James into the corner. Now he's got the White Wolf hook into a DDT. Hook of the outside leg, will it be enough?
This could be over.
Oof, not quite.
Both of these guys a member here of Camp 16. And Holiday could be making an important mistake in trying to argue with the referee. You might want to stay focused there on the guy who loves to hunt.
Wait a second. He just took off his wrist tape. He's choking out the White Wolf with his wrist tape right in front of the ref.
Definitely not the move. But Holiday, he understands he has a 5 count. He knows rules and he knows how to break them. And he loves all of that. Joey Holiday, a very interesting character. He was a party guy in college. He would go to the parties and felt like he became way too popular in school. So he said, let me go to another space where I can expand my portfolio. And here he is in the world of pro wrestling.
Ooh, back elbow off the ropes. Holiday taking down St. James. And again, showing off to this crowd here in the Nightmare Factory.
Joey Holiday, he loves showing off, and this, you know, you would tell somebody normally, hey, stay on your opponent, but he came to pro wrestling specifically to be able to show off.
Now the White Wolf in a world of trouble now as Holiday choking the life out of him, trying to get back to his feet, finally getting to a vertical base. Can he break free of this hold?
And I wonder how Eric St. James will take both his combat experience and his military experience and transform them here into the ring.
St. James now writhing in pain after that knee right to the kidneys from Holiday. Holiday again, John, with the crowd, gonna bring St. James up the hard way.
Eric St. James now whipped there into the ropes.
It's a clothesline. Oh, wait a second. Now that short arm DDT right there from St. James, and both men down.
Eric St. James looking to live out the dream of his family. His family, they all spent time watching pro sports and particularly pro wrestling, but really the only one that was able to kind of make the transition into the sport, of course, is the White Wolf.
Both men crawling towards the corner, trying to create separation and try to make their way back to their feet. Holiday up first.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what Wolf is going to bring to the table, and here we go.
He charges in, hits a big splash, or clothesline in the corner rather, charges in one more time, and another big clothesline in the corner to Holiday from St. James.
St. James ducking that particular pose off the big boot there.
Right to the teeth of Holiday.
That boot is shades of Kane, one of his favorite wrestlers growing up.
And now Holiday back up. St. James has him hooked. What's he got in mind here?
This is special. He calls this one Wolf. He calls this Wolf's Bane. Ooh.
Oh man, I thought that was it.
I definitely thought that was it. That's his tribute to the late, great Bray Wyatt, who also became a favorite of his and an inspiration to get into the business.
But somehow, some way, Holiday able to kick out. Now he rolls to the ring apron. Shoulder right through the ropes into the gut of Eric St. James. Here comes Holiday on the attack. Perhaps looking for a back super. Oh, just plants St. James. Hooks the outside leg, center of the ring.
Holiday could get him. Whoa.
Another long 2 count there.
St. James just barely made it out of that one.
And Holiday getting so frustrated with this official.
Oh, wow.
I'm just doing my job.
Wait a minute.
Doing my job.
Wow.
You do your job, we'll do our job. How about that?
Joey Holiday has never met someone that he didn't have anything negative to say to, including my commentary partner.
Man, oh man.
Wow, that was unexpected.
Just wrestle the match, that's all. And he's going up to the second turnbuckle. This is unfamiliar territory.
It is.
Oh, nobody home.
Went for it.
And yeah, you heard him.
That's what happens when you mess with the commentators.
Now wait a second. St. James.
I think it might be time. With all of the hunting experience that's come, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed time for the heart of the pack.
Pin attempt. Will this be enough? And that's all she wrote.
Here's your winner, Eric St. James.
The White Wolf with the heart of the pack and a huge victory here tonight at the Nightmare Factory.
An incredible victory there, and what a moment. How difficult it is, and you can tell he's overcome with emotion there because you worked so hard. You want to represent your family. You want to live out your dream. You want to live out their dream. Eric St. James has done that. Welcome the White Wolf to the pro wrestling business.
Fans don't go anywhere because up next, it's our main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event. The following contest is set for one fall.
Oh man, this one's gonna be good.
Introducing first, weighing in at 195 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia,
You talk about a veteran here of the Nightmare Factory. I believe he dates back to Camp 2 or 3. Parker Lee, one of my all-time favorites here.
And his opponent.
Well, you know you're special if you already have your own music mentioning your own name.
Absolutely.
Weighing in at 191 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, he is the extraordinary one, Belair.
You know, again, GB, we talked about a lot of these folks here tonight making their debuts. This young man actually debuted all the way back in 2018.
That's right. This is one of the beautiful things that I love about these camps here at the Nightmare Factory. It's not just for those who are brand new to the business, but it is designed for those who want to sharpen their skills, and such is the case for Xavier Young.
Ring a bell!
And I like this match here in the main event. Xavier, you know, anytime you make it to the main event of any show, it's amazing. But the main event of the Student Showcase is literally reserved for the best of the best. I always harken back to the inaugural Student Showcase, Camp 1, back end of 2020, top of 2021, where a certain Carly Bravo made his wrestling debut, and we've seen what he's been able to do certainly throughout the wrestling world, and these two men certainly could share those stages.
Strong collar level tie-up there from Parker Lee and Young. But looks like Lee with the advantage, now working on that left arm and the wrist of Young.
I'm curious, and I do want to ask you this for Xavier Young, who again, you got this class full of people who tonight is their first match. Do you think he's felt a different kind of pressure having the most experience of any of those in this year's camp.
Absolutely, as he's applied that top wrist lock. But yeah, when you come in here and you're already kind of the most experienced camper, you feel like, you know, everybody else is kind of looking up to you, or at least expecting you to kind of show up and show out. So that's the case here tonight, as he got put in this main event matchup here. But it's going to be tough because he's in there with Parker Lee, who we know all too well.
We certainly do. Parker Lee, again, who has done great things. And again, both of these guys have traveled similar roads. We've seen them both on television, in both AEW. We've seen them in Ring of Honor. Xavier Young, his track and trajectory here is interesting because it really started out west at the Buddy Wayne Academy. And we've seen some of the great superstars that have come out of there, including, of course, young Nick Wayne, who was Xavier Young's first opponent.
Absolutely, as you see, both men go for drop kicks. Parker Lee missed, but Young did not.
And both of them have great drop kicks. I often liken Parker Lee to a young Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with his look, his moveset, his fluidity, and that's a unique move there from Parker Lee.
Yeah, Lee using that top rope to his advantage and kind of slingshotting Young back to the canvas.
You know, there are different sides of Parker Lee that we have seen over time, but usually all those sides are relatively respectful and scientific, so I'm wondering if he's starting to tease perhaps a new leaf here.
Counter there for Lee. Lee charges in, eats a back elbow from Young. Young up to the second turnbuckle.
And here comes Young. Oh, he
over cross body, but it gets countered. And look at the strength of Parker Lee now, lifting Young up. Parker Lee here,
rolling through there. Oh, wow.
What an innovative backbreaker from Parker Lee.
Parker Lee utilizing his own body there to break the back of Xavier Young. And Young's in trouble.
Uh-oh, listen to this crowd all over Parker Lee right now.
I'm shocked because most places Parker Lee goes, they love him, but not tonight.
Not tonight, as the crowd here at the Nightmare Factory firmly behind Xavier Young. Head first goes Young right into that top turnbuckle.
Xavier Young is one who looks to be original in a world that lacks originality, but right now he's getting a rather unoriginal / original stomp. Yeah, the stomp works no matter where or what.
And you see Lee just kind of admiring his work here as he's stalking his prey, as it were.
Xavier Young, interestingly enough, took some time off in the sport. Again, a lot of people were forced to take time off during the pandemic, and Xavier Young decided to try out a few other things, particularly enlisting in the Navy. And so, yeah, that's a different space, but he's obviously come out of there and back into the sport.
And you're right, GB. We are seeing a different side here of Parker Lee. Is a little more arrogant, a little more cocky here, as he's just kind of like playing with his food here like a lion, playing with his prey. And now he's bringing Young back up to his feet. What's he got in mind here? Looking for a suplex, perhaps.
Beautiful suplex. And while we're not used to seeing this different side of Parker Lee, I do somewhat understand. We get a count.
Ooh, 2 count.
I do somewhat understand it. Again, Parker Lee representing the old school, if I could say that, of the Nightmare Factory, the early classes, the early days that built the foundation for Xavier Young to come in here in Class 16. And one thing Parker Lee does not want to do is suffer a loss here to Young.
And again, Lee going back to work on that left shoulder, but Young firing back up with those right hands right to the midsection. But now Lee just torquing right back down. Young trying to fire back. Young breaks free.
But ooh, there's that picture-perfect drop kick there from Parker Lee. He makes it look easy. He's so good with that.
He's so, yeah, he's so fluid. Both of them are fluid, but now a little ground and pound from Parker Lee.
And Lee is trash talking. Did you hear that? He said that's how you throw a drop kick.
Man, oh man. But back to your point, GB. I mean, you talked about it. These former campers coming back in here, not wanting the new camp to show them up.
Yeah, and that's a big issue of pride. You know, we all have pride at our schools or any space we've been where we were initially the big dog in the yard, and now someone else new has come along. You kind of want to remind everybody that you still got the juice.
Series of standing switches here. Now Lee with a nice mat return on Young. And now it's like Lee's just kind of trying to squeeze the life out of Xavier Young right now, trying to cut off that airflow.
I'll tell you what's dangerous about Parker Lee. Parker Lee has always had the ability to be a massive star. He's had the technical ability. He knows what to do. But this attitude on top of it could be enough not just to cause him to win this main event, but to go even further in the industry. Wow.
Young landed on his feet, shoved Lee right into the second turnbuckle face first. And man, that backfired for Parker Lee for sure.
And now the question is, can Xavier Young take this time and prove why he is the mainstay, why he is the extraordinary one. And he got caught.
Yeah, charges in. Parker Lee was waiting for him. Step up enziguri all the way to the top. And man, look at the way that Young is hanging on with his foot, just trying to keep himself balanced up there.
Yeah, that could have definitely blown a knee or something like that. But I have to admit, I am starting to like this somewhat aggressive side of Parker Lee.
Well, Parker, I'll tell you who doesn't like it right now is Xavier Young, who's in a very precarious position now that Lee is up to the top turnbuckle.
You better believe he doesn't like it, but Young is trying to figure out a way out of this.
Yeah, both men in a precarious way. Here's Young with a headbutt, and he takes Lee down to the canvas.
And now Young is trying to gather some energy from this crowd here at the Nightmare Factory.
The crowd fires up behind him here. Could he be waiting a little too long, though, as Parker Lee back to his feet? Wait a second, no! A blockbuster! A blockbuster from Young!
That was beautifully done there from Young, but there's been too much taken out of him already.
Young now just trying to regroup. He's trying to, you see him trying to catch his breath here. Both men down on the canvas as the referee implementing the 10 count.
Young has what it takes to be one of the best, and he wants to show the world that, hey, even if you stop, you can dust yourself off and try again.
See Lee using that top rope. Got himself back up to his feet. Now Young back to his feet as well.
Big block there from Young, and now Young is trying to fight his way back into this contest.
Ducks a clothesline. Ducks another one. Oh, a spear! A spear! Are you kidding me?
That was very uniquely done. It looked like he could have kind of turned there, but he maintained the initial direction, had a lot of torque on that.
Goodness gracious, Parker Lee almost taken out of his boots.
Very, very impressive from Xavier Young, and this is again where he talks about how he wants to be original, and that was a very original kind of spear.
And now you see Young stalking Lee right now, clearly with something in mind. What's it gonna be? Double underhook. Perhaps looking for a butterfly of sorts, but instead a counter and another counter using the leg strength is Young, kicking off. Parker Lee, both men went for the same move. Back elbow for Parker Lee, and he just rocked Young.
And here it is, Lee has got him up in almost a torture rack of sorts.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
That airplane power bomb, helicopter power bomb that is, and only a count of two. That was a very, very creative and impressive move from Parker Lee.
Uh-oh. Now Lee, his frustration showing here as he's arguing with the referee. But you see Young, yeah, how much more is left in Young after taking that maneuver, man? What a move there by Parker Lee.
Very creative, and Young is really having to dig in deep. He talks about creativity and originality. Well, Young is going to absolutely need to figure out where he can get more creativity to get out of that, and he found a way to roll through.
Young uses the quickness, nobody home, but now Parker Lee uses his quickness and a step up enziguri from the ring apron.
It feels like Young may have met his match here in Parker Lee.
Uh-oh, maybe looking for a lung blower, but
big
Young able to escape and hits a big boot. Now a right hand from Parker Lee. What a back and forth match, GB.
I am loving what I'm seeing from both of these competitors here. Here we go.
There's that double underhook.
That's the drill bit. He calls that the drill bit. And he got him.
What a match.
Huge win there for Xavier Young, who caps off this great comeback with the drill bit and shows exactly that you can become that much better when you come through the doors of the Nightmare Factory.
Well, fans, thank you so much for watching Showcase number 16 here at the Nightmare Factory. I'm Brandon Bitterfield alongside the beautiful Diana Michelle and the great GB Gerard Bonner. Gerard, tell them how they can find us.
You can find us, of course, by following us at Nightmare Factory GA across all the socials and at nightmarefactoryga.com. Remember, this is the Nightmare Factory, where we do the work.